Hey everyone, it's Dak. I have some news for you all. This may not seem like a lot for a lot of people, but I just really need to say this because I feel like it's one of those things that happens behind the scenes that no one really sees. I mean, when it comes to your favorite content creators, a lot of them, they like to share what's going on behind the scenes and so on. I mean, I like to do the same thing as well, so that way you guys have an understanding and get to really see the ins and outs of how all these things come about. Some people talk about the personal life, some people talk about, the technical issues and so on, the things that go on with actually making the content, what prevents them or enables them to make what they can or cannot do. Well, for me, it's usually never really been a big issue when it comes to like the things that help us do what we do. The things that stop me from making videos is usually just myself. It's usually personal reasons, things that dissuade me from doing it, usually depression and things like that, because I was a very chipper person up until maybe about 2.5 years ago, where a lot of things took a weird toll on my psyche, and even to this day I still kind of fumble with it from time to time, whether it be interpersonal struggles or the reason that actually got me to the point in depression where I just wanted to end it all. But nevertheless, that's some for a different day, or not even day at all, because it's not really that important, because I'm not that way anymore. But what the whole entirety of this intro was for was that there are certain things that enable us to do what we do as content creators. For me, it's always been the professional quality in which I actually have the footage displayed for you all. I always try my absolute best, even if you don't even know it. It's small nuanced things that your brain picks up that you just perceive as like yes, like it's a tiny yes that you didn't know that you wanted, that you totally needed to have. These are the things that I really like when it comes to my videos. I like to have things done in a particular manner. I like to have the camera angled at a particular level so that way you can see the monsters, you can see what's going on, so that way everyone sees things, and it's just great. It's things, again, that you don't notice immediately, but it's stuff that fairly helps the production of the video. So, what you're looking at right here, you're looking at For You footage. This is Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I'm playing with some fellas right here, my man Gorgini and Monarch of Dragons. We are actually going through the For You Gauntlet. Now, the For You Gauntlet, it released in this half point, if you will, because I uploaded one part at Christmas, and I was going to upload the other part before Rise came out. A lot of things happened. I was honestly just being lazy and procrastinating. I actually forgot a lot about the Gauntlet, so we were like, yo, we have to go and do it. So we jumped back on it to get it done and record and whatnot. We're at the cusp of the Elder Dragons. We're actually fighting the Yukon Los and the Akantor. After them, it's just Elder Dragon City, because we did the subspecies right along with the main species. But after the Elder Dragons, Dunzo Gunzo, we pretty much did it all. There's a couple of outlying monsters we need to go back and do as well, but for the most part, we're almost done. Now, the whole point of this actual video is the fact that all the things I just talked about before, it's enabled to me and to you all through my capture cards. I take pride in my capture cards. Every single capture card I've owned with the biggest smile on my face. They've done so much work for me. I've always wanted to get the absolute best out of whatever capture card I had. I wanted the best quality settings. I try my best to either look up the best quality settings or configure my own quality settings that would give me the greatest picture, the greatest sound, so on and so forth. There's one particular capture card in particular that has done a lot for me. So much, in fact, that I genuinely owe. If I could owe an actual inanimate object, I owe this object the entirety of my Twitch and my YouTube channel for the most part. That would be the capture card that recorded this footage you're looking at right here. This is the capture card from my 3DS. Today, the capture card from my 3DS died. I know that's like a very, very weird thing to just, I don't know, where it bring to you guys. I mean, some of you guys might be like, oh, dang, that sucks. But out of all the capture cards I've ever owned in my life, this is the one that actually meant the most to me. For some reason, this one hit a little harder. I've never had a capture card die on me before. This is the only one. I knew it was more possible with this one than it was for the others, due in part that this one was essentially just a mod, like a gentleman or a group of people, if you will, because it was technically a business. I don't know how many employees were there, or if it was just like a self kind of employee thing where like the one guy does it all. But Katsukiri, for those who actually know about the 3DS capture card game, you would know this particular gentleman here. He actually did the capture card for this 3DS. It enabled me to actually get it so that way I can actually record all the For You footage, all the gen footage, all the cross footage, the double cross footage, and multiple other different games and stuff that we actually use. Anything that comes from the 3DS or even the DS, I use this capture card I've been doing it for the past 8 years. So all the footage that came from those things came from this one capture card right here. It kicking the bucket hurt me a lot. Like I'm actually really sad, because the thing is, I can't just be like, oh, I'll just go get another one. On top of the fact that I didn't want another one, I became really close with this thing. It's so weird. I've become so close with this object that you wouldn't think that one could be so close with something so simple. It's just the thing in a device. Literally to the random onlooker, it's just a 3DS, an old 3DS at that. Don't even have the new sticks. Don't have all the new flash stuff. It's the old school 3DS. Got this thing in 2013. So for about 8 years, it has served me valiantly. All right, and it's done, but it really hurts. I want to let you guys know, for the most part, the whole point of this real video is to let you know that it died, and the 4U Gauntlet is on hold, probably indefinitely, because that company I told you guys about that actually put the capture card in this 3DS went bankrupt 2 years ago. They were made to order, so there weren't like a surplus of these things just floating around the internet you can just pick up and like go. So everyone who has a 3DS capture card, that 3DS capture card is a unique device to them, unique to them and them alone. So, but that being said, I don't know, if anyone else knows the means to do so, let me know. But I think for the most part, I think this might be the end of the road for the 4U Gauntlet and pretty much anything 3DS related, which is a huge bummer, because there's a lot of things on the 3DS I still wish I had recorded, especially for Monster and the like. So it's just really rough that I have to like lay it down. I can't do this anymore. Like the 4U Gauntlet, it's just done. It sucks, guys. It really does. It really it really sucks that I'm even making this video. I didn't want to, but I really felt like not just me, but you guys deserve to know what's happening with the 4U Gauntlet. The GU Gauntlet took a long time. These gauntlets do take a long time, but the reason why this one will probably not come out ever, probably, is because, well, the capture card died halfway through the full recording of the gauntlet. So it happened out of nowhere. It worked perfectly fine up until the day we tried recording. We popped it in, everything was doing good. Then it black screen, and then it black screen again, and then it black screen again, and 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 again. Then it just stopped. It just stopped coming on. So yeah, that's that. So the capture card is dead, but the gauntlet is probably also dead for the 4U one, that is. So what I'm going to do is, because Rise is coming out, I'm going to just double down my efforts on the things I wanted to do before Rise came out, like make a couple of videos talking about the returning things to Rise that was in the 3rd generation, because, you know, I am the 3rd generation in a nutshell. So I just want to go back to doing that. Those things, we have about 10 days. So I have about 2 to 3 videos that need to come out for that, so we'll have that come out. The Iceborne Gauntlet is being pushed up, so what we're gonna do is, after Rise gets put out and everyone's having a good time, so let's say, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months after Rise, I'm gonna start recording for the Iceborne Gauntlet. It's gonna be another one that takes a long time to do, simply because Rise is literally here. We don't really need to do a gauntlet for a game until like all the content that can be made for the particular game is either dried up or it just feels like it's really that time. But I probably am going to do the Iceborne Gauntlet sooner than I would usually want to for a game, but we will see when it comes down to the DLC and such. So come April, I will again have a better idea as to like if we're going to do it or not, because for the time being we can't do the 4U Gauntlet. So yeah, anyway guys, it's just, that's all I really wanted to say. I know I had it's a weird video, but for those who've been around me for like the last 8 years, you've seen my 4U footage. You've seen my gen footage, all that stuff. It came from this little guy right here. The 3DS itself actually still works. I mean, I can still like play games on it, but the capture card inside of it does not work anymore. So yeah, I just want to let you guys know that it has served me for far too long, and I guess it is time for it to be put to rest. I'm not gonna sell it or anything like that. I'll just probably put it in a drawer, pull it out when I want to play 3DS games, which is actually quite often, believe it or not. And and that'll be it until I can get it fixed, or if I can get it fixed. I don't know if I can, because again, the guy who made them, who literally invented the capture card for the 3DS, went out of business because he essentially was he was running an illegal business, because, well, it was a legal thing with Nintendo and how they do things. We were modifying Nintendo stuff and selling it. You know how that goes. There's been court battles with people doing stuff with Nintendo all the time. Think of the homebrewing scene for Nintendo. It's technically like an illegal thing or whatever, so you can't really do it, and so on. It's a huge legal issue. No one just wants to openly do this thing anymore, so I get it. But by chance, if anyone knows anyone or knows a thing about like fixing this potentially, I implore you, please, I'm begging actually, hit me up, let me know. I'll put the Discord in the description, or if you don't want to join the Discord, you can just actually put it in the comment section. We'll kind of go from there. But yeah, with that being said, it's been your boy. Rest in peace to Raven. Raven was the name of this 3DS.